What's up, guys, and welcome back to Wikob Entertainment. So, there is a very big issue here that has been revealed by Advocate Mnisi in court, and it is that there is a very big difference between the bullet that was tested by Mangena and the one that was tested by Sereo. So, what is happening is that Mangena confirmed that the bullet that he tested, it actually matched the one that was fired from Tobisi Mncube's firearm. However, in verifying these results, Sero's bullet was different from that of Mangena.
Now, immediately what struck me very strange is the fact that Mr. Mangena says, when I analyzed this bullet, it had a ditch. It got fired from the same firearm that test bullet number 8 was fired from. Now, it struck me very strange as to how could it then be so? Lieutenant Colonel Serero decided to use bullet number 8 when Mr. Mangena actually did his test on bullet number 9, and bullet number 9 had a ditch. Did bullet number 8 have a ditch?
The evidence of Colonel Mangena is that he tested, he looked at all the test bullets and he positively identified all of them, but that he chose to use bullet 5 and 9 because the transfer of marks was better.
Now, did the bullet that you worked on to confirm Mangena's finding had that indentation?
I cannot recall because there are several things, several marks that one is looking at around the circumference of the bullet, so I cannot recall.
But surely say if it had that indentation, you would have realized it, not so?
I have already explained that the ballistics is not based on the fact that the marks which are visible on even bullets fired from the same firearm, those marks are not microscopically identical. They are similar. They are similar to a certain degree.
So basically, this is what is happening. There is a bullet that was found at the Khumalo house. After these investigators found this bullet at the Khumalo house, they then went to Mthobisi Mncube's house where they found a firearm at the top of his wardrobe. With this firearm from Mthobisi Mncube, these ballistic experts, they now fired these bullets to try and see if the bullet from Mthobisi Mncube's firearm will match this same bullet that was found at the Khumalo house. So Mangena then found a match between the bullet that was found at the Khumalo house and the bullet that was fired from Mthobisi Mncube's firearm. But the key issue that is there now is that this bullet that was fired by Mangena from Mthobisi Mncube's firearm, it had an indentation on it. It had this ditch, this groove. So in verifying Mangena's results, Sereo then came in and fired his own bullet. However, now the challenge is that Sereo's bullet did not have this groove. So what this means is that Sereo confirmed Mangena's results with a bullet that had different characteristics. So the challenge that is being put on the table is that how can you confirm these results with the bullet that had different characteristics? It just doesn't make any sense at all. So now let us look firstly as we investigate this matter to try and find out who is wrong or who is correct between these two guys. It is that the presence or absence of specific indentations on these bullets, they actually result from various factors, including, for example, the angle of impact. So if you fire a bullet, when it hits a wall or something, that surface that it would have hit, depending on the angle, that's when then the indentation then comes from. Another bullet can be fired on the same wall, but due to the different angle, it might not have an indentation. So these ballistic experts now, when they do their examinations, They look at like various characteristics. They just do not look at one feature only to try and find a match. They look at various characteristics, because if you like focus on one characteristics, it can lead you astray. So when you look at these bullets on a microscope, they are definitely going to differ microscopically because of the issues that I've talked about. Like, for example, the wear on the barrel, or the variations in the testing processes, or even in the differences in how the bullets strike the surface, as I just said earlier. So you can fire two similar bullets, one after the other, and they're going to hit that surface on different angles. So those two bullets will definitely differ microscopically. But what is going to be clear is that these two bullets, even though they differ microscopically, both of them would have been fired from the same firearm. So in summary, what are we saying here? Bullets do not need to be an exact microscopic match to be considered as coming from the same firearm. They just have to have the same ballistic characteristics or show a high degree of similarity. So essentially, that is what Mangena and Sero went for in linking the bullet fired from Tobisemnwe's firearm to the one of the bullets that was found at the Kumalo house. But obviously, the challenge now is that the bullet that was fired at the Kumalo house, it shattered into several pieces, like into very, very small pieces. So that bullet had like shattered into multiple fragments. So it's now a challenge to try and match it with the one that is now being fired by Mangena and Sereo. So what is actually needed to try and find a match? What these guys can actually do is something like reconstruction. By reconstruction, it is possible for these forensic analysts to try and attempt to piece together these different bullet fragments to recover enough surface area for comparison. Because like when you piece together these pieces, you can get enough surface to then try and find a match with the bullets that they are now firing. So this is the challenge that is there for these witnesses and the defense and even the state in proving that the bullet that was fired from Tobisemnwe's firearm matches the one that was found at the Kumalo house. That's the challenge of indentations. But as we have just seen, indentations do not mean that if it is not there, then there is no match whatsoever, because you cannot rely on one feature only. But the challenge that has not been spoken about is that the bullet that was found at the Kumalo house, it shattered beyond recognition, like into several small pieces. So what is needed, as I just said, is just a reconstruction of those multiple fragments. Then they start matching with the ones that they are now firing. So tell me what you think in the comment section about the argument between Sereo and Mnisi. I'll catch you guys on the next one.